the tactics, team play, the strategy, and all the rest of it, that's good enough to cause really huge problems, serious issues to teams like Astralis when Astralis are on the top. So, you know, it's a team that can do a lot on a lot of maps. So here we go. Into the action we go. And AVANGAR on that T side. They love a good T side. And HellRaisers on the CT side. Cannot wait to see what HellRaisers can do here. They will spot the push. And that's not a welcome sight. He's alone, and he is dead as Sanji picks up the kill.
Forced away from his initial angle, he could do nothing to stop the T's from making their way through the choke point. There's a really interesting round from FaZe where they made a play like that on a pistol round, but Olofmeister was up front. He was bunny hopping backwards to try and take all the bullets and avoid getting shot in the head, but here we go, still successful for AVANGAR. This is a tight spot for HellRaisers. It is a pistol though, so maybe that makes things marginally easier for them. Maybe not easy though. Jame under the window, can't find the headshot just yet. They're all trying to make their way through. Oscar's the brave one, 180 headshot from him, and another one on Sanji as well. There's a kill onto Angel, and that Bus is in a 1 versus 3. They've cleared out all the different positions. Oscar swings wide, stop him from focusing on the bomb diffuser, and there is Issa to hold things down, and the pistol round for HellRaisers.
That's a hero play in half from the likes of Oscar. Just he's the guy that runs through the doors there. You can see the teasing, Angel teasing around the window position. They desperately needed somebody to either get a pick or for somebody to go in, and the pick wasn't coming, so Oscar was the man that decided to go in, and here we can see him making his way forwards. There's the first frag, and that's what allows them to move forwards as a team, and that's a beautiful second kill, and the third one as well is stunning. Great display, and that's what you want to see. If Oscar gets himself going right at the beginning of a Dust 2 on a CT side and picks up the AWP and gets scout headshots as well to boot, that's a huge problem for the likes of AVANGAR. And Issa going deep there into the lower dark area, and he's going to get taken down eventually, but look at HellRaisers go. They're against a force buy. Their weaponry is actually worse than the T's.
And it goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, they're getting punished now for being aggressive.
Yeah, dropping the Krieg after planting the bomb. And we're in a 3 versus 3. Love to see Oscar in a nice open map. Feels like it's been way too long. Nuki's got to be careful. You can see Keycut lurking behind blue. He's going to see him. Oh, he is. The bell is rung, but Keycut survives with 2 HP. French gun not doing enough damage on this occasion. 2 versus 3 now. Minutes on the clock for AVANGAR. The bomb makes its way towards long. And you can see HellRaisers being proactive. Oscar having a look through the middle doors. And they start to rotate towards the A bomb site. Lowell has a flash. If we can pick the right timing and flash Oscar in, we could see a multi-frag.
He certainly could. It's not looking bad at all. All the smoke is down in a timely fashion. Will that be helpful, though? Oscar finds himself straight through the smoke with a double, and that's now 30 seconds to get the bomb and plant it. He has to go forward. He's got 2 HP. There's nothing he can do, and that is, in fact, a beautiful play, just like you say. Oscar was in a position to succeed, and the smoke ended up actually hurting AVANGAR, making things look more confusing as that flashbang came through, and Oscar found the perfect timing to push through, and what a stunning round from him. In fact, round 1 and round 2, all the rounds so far, Oscar's been the key element. He's 6 for 2 now. It's
so important that Lowell's flash went towards the site as well. If it went through the smoke, then there would have been a 180 and Oscar probably would have been traded, but the fact you put it in the right position allowed that to happen in the first place. So good attention to detail with the flashbang thrown in the first place. And now AVANGAR's force buy has failed. It looks so good, but one flash can make a hell of a difference. That's why you got to learn to flash for your teammates, people.
Well, I like this buy here, you know, from AVANGAR. This is stuff that they like to pull out from time to time. You get one player sacrificing their money, not necessarily always all the money, but we see that is the case here. The Krieg is dropped for Keycut, who gets himself Kevlar and a helmet, and he has a smoke grenade as well. So you can see the plan.
But what is the purpose, Dan? What is the purpose? Got to explain the purpose.
Yeah, the plan is a single smoke goes on crossover, and you can see that Jame actually gets the pick with the scout, actually, and they can make their way towards the A bomb site. They have to take the bomb site, though, and Issa's up there. He'll get taken down by Jame. Good stuff once again from the scouts, and Keycut still alive. He's the power player here for AVANGAR as he jumps up on top of the box here, on top of the bomb site, going for the plant, but he's a bit open here. I think there's a player, and Gandalf, absolutely, Oscar's there. But Jame, in the meanwhile, has picked himself up a Krieg. There's more damage to be done here.
Just about getting there in time. He is very susceptible to penetration shots as well, especially with no armor, but that will be that. I guess worst case scenario with the Krieg buy, they can keep the CT economy humble even if they lose the round, and I think it's fair to say that they've done that. So with the rest of the team being able to buy rifles, that is something that they could capitalize on. So it's a calculated risk in that respect. Beautiful angle from James there. And a lot of damage done. Only 2 players surviving for HellRaisers. So for the cost of one person being short, one person having a UMP instead of a Krieg, I think that's a pretty good look for AVANGAR.
Yeah, and a good look for Oscar. He's, well, not anymore. He was averaging 3 kills a round. He got 3 kills in round 1, round 2, and round 3, but now he's been eliminated as he picks up the AWP, which has been collected by the likes of Issa. Decisions to be made by HellRaisers. This is the nightmare scenario. Any very top-level team in a position where you get a fast pick against the CTs on Dust 2, you have this beautiful position. This is the most standard setup that you expect to be up against. 2 on the B-bomb site, 1 on the A site, and 1 on long. That's very, very standard. And a lot of teams will actually just go, like, if you go to B, you get a B split, those 2 players have no help on the B-bomb side. If you decide to go towards A, you can isolate either the long player or the player playing the site really easily. So you're always playing against 1 or 2 players at most, at very most. And with all the utility that AVANGAR have, that is a huge advantage to be playing with.
50 seconds on the clock. There are Molotovs for AVANGAR. They've got smokes to drop on top of short for their setup if they want to get that deep Molotov towards the ramp, for example, where Angel may choose to stand. There's the first smoke. And you can see that gives them more space to throw that deep Molotov, which forces Angel from his position, and that is a perfect execution of that. Ooh. He's got nowhere to hide, tries to jump up, gets slammed down. Now, they're probably going to go for the short plant and hold on to the short position. You can see them repositioning there. So they bring the numbers towards the site in case trade frags are needed. Once they establish that that's not the case, they go back to hold down the short position and plant the bomb for short. HellRaisers out of position, 2 players on the B bomb site. They will be looking to save in this situation.
I really liked the cat boost smoke that we saw from AVANGAR there, because we could see that it's designed to prevent any CTs that are on the low ground from getting headshot angles. And that's all it's there to do. But that was very effective. I don't think I've actually seen any other teams doing that in all of the games that I've casted in the last while, that's for sure. So really looking forward to seeing that detail play out, because we didn't see it in this round. So one key thing to focus on here is actually if HellRaisers keep 3 players alive, which it looks like they will do, so that's very good for them. But going back to that, you know, that is often a problem for the T side, because they'll often play in their default in a way such as they will threaten the B split and then go for the A play. And when you threaten the B split, what happens is you'll likely be up against 2 players on the B-bomb site, and then 1 player will drop off the A side in towards CT spawn. And so that's at least 1 player that will be playing the headshot angles around the ramp position. So if you drop that smoke, that player has way less to work with and has to go much deeper and is in a more committed position to have any visibility on the players running across catwalk onto the A-bomb site. So that's a cool little detail from that set piece from AVANGAR that I haven't seen from other teams just yet. I'm sure there's other teams that do it, but you got to do it at the major.
Do it on LAN.
Yeah. Oscar back in the AWP. He's got to be fuming, James. He's getting 3 kills every round, then he got beasted in the previous round by James. James looking for it again.
Well, can't ride on old successes for too long. Plenty more rounds to come. These frags were good and they were helpful, but more will be required. Ooh, Angel caught in no man's land, lucky to get away, especially because he's got an MP9. He can't even take a fight with that from that position unless he has some fortune. All the smokes from long, and there'll be a gentleman's agreement to fall back, at least for HellRaisers. Angel can't really... I mean, well, with an MP9, I suppose he could do some, but with everyone alive in a full buy round for AVANGAR, you'd expect players to be... Like, if they went towards the A bomb site from long, you'd expect some players to stay long. So if you went for a pop flash play, people would be waiting for such a thing to happen. Oh, James spots the head. 1, 2, 3 crosses of the dome. Angel doesn't want to give him too many opportunities. I wouldn't get too curious for information. So again, James likes to hold angles one way or another through that mid position. They have long AVANGAR. He's spotting for information, looking at what the opponent might try to be doing. We can see Oscar's boosted up. That scope will surely be heard by Buster. He seems to be walking to have a look. Now, you can flash Oh, there's no time. Never mind. That's a different type of flash. But AVANGAR will use the numbers to take the short position. Now they've taken long. Try and force the will onto HellRaisers. Buster will get a kill. 3 kills in a short few seconds from AVANGAR, and that is the round over. So I like it. They held in long. There was no retake attempt from HellRaisers. They saw there was aggression on short, which is standard. You lose long, you push short, you have to hold short. So they leave one player long, rotate the rest towards short, abuse the players there, and the round is over.
That's a really scary prospect too, because as you say, like ideally on the CT side, you don't want to give up long, because it is it's much easier to be in a situation where you hold long and your B players, if you lose the A bomb site, your B players can retake from catwalk and you can sandwich onto the A bomb site for the retake. That's kind of what you want. You don't want to be stuck on short and having a situation where you've given up long. And AVANGAR showed that in that scenario, they're going to just crush the short defense.
What I was going to say is, from when you go down into a lower tunnel, often you'll find 2 Ts boosting behind the box to have a look. But you can also pop flash, which doesn't hit the ceiling or a wall and lands just below the arch. So somebody is looking into the short position, you can flash them. So if you're there on your own and no one's there to boost you, for example, there is a flash. Excuse me, I think it's a left-right click flash. But there is a flash you can do to force people from that angle as well, so look out for that. I know that the Vitality boys know that one, so you might see it in one of their demos. Anyway, it is anti-eco territory for AVANGAR. They've taken the B bomb site. Now we'll see what HellRaisers choose to do. You can see AVANGAR very aware. They've got Kika on the Mach 10. Get that bonus money. May come in handy in the rounds to come. HellRaisers don't want to give them that bonus money, so they will simply move away.
Yeah, and it's another point too for the T side that if they are forcing those CTs on that catwalk position, it's much easier to deal with the CTs with utility, as you sort of started to mention with the flashbangs and so on. Like it's just like this one little L corner type corner. It's just that you can just bombard that with utility. And so HellRaisers, I guess what we're leading up to with kind of talking about how that round went, they need to find a way to hold on to long really. And that might be, it might be just starting with, as teams do, 3 players on long and just really fighting for it tooth and nail. I think that's more of an answer there than just giving it up, because you don't want to allow AVANGAR to do what they want. Being in a position where you can deny the Ts something that they want is really important. Otherwise, they get into a position of such comfort and confidence. But here we go, 3-3. James going deep for the jump shots, the gap shots. Again, he's been pretty good with those, usually getting damaged. And then we've got a 4-man response towards A here. Now, you've got to be careful that you don't over-commit towards this A bomb site. Obviously, once the rush timing is gone, they'll spread out. But in the meantime, Lowell's been left alone. He's got no nades left on the B bomb site.
Buster invites some counter grenades or perhaps an over rotation, and indeed 2 players are making their way over towards B from A. And again, with James lurking with an AWP, you really got to be careful going past those middle doors. There is a smoke up for the time being. I did mention that next to this Xbox, he will hold an angle there. We haven't seen that quite yet, but I'm sure it is to come. And what does the Dren have in mind here? Ooh, we got gimmicks. What is the meaning of this?
Oh my god, that's so cool. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, that's so sick. Dren. That's so cool.
Why is it cool, Dan?
It's just cool because it's like a way to instantly do an Xbox smoke without any lineup. It looks really, I don't know how consistent that is, if it's kind of glitchy or not, but it looks pretty consistent yeah, from what he did. But there's more to talk about in this round with HellRaisers doing that 4-man A stack. If AVANGAR knew that, they can just go for a delayed long take, and that would be extremely strong. But you can see that this is the setup that I was talking about before, where you've got 2 players kind of defending the A push from long here on the CT side of things. B players can go towards catwalk, although there is a player lurking pretty deep there, Sanji, in the upper tunnels, looking to catch Issa, but Issa will take him down. And this is the smoke we were talking about. Look at the lurk over the top of that smoke. Look how strong that is for a Dren. It's very difficult to deal with. And AVANGAR will get the plants and a 4 versus 4 to boots.
Vanguard gone deep in the short position. Now, will they go to... Looks like there's going to be a flank in them in the CT spawn area rather than long. There are two players coming up long, one of which is Oscar with the AWP. Issa taken out in the meantime. James spotting a touch of a helmet. One player's gone past, 2 versus 2 now, and it's just Oscar alone. He won't last very long either. Vanguard looking pretty sharp on this T side, it has to be said. After losing the initial 3 rounds, it's been all of Vanguard. It's been meticulous, it's been sharp, and it's been very focused.
Oh, yeah. This has been really, really cool to watch just because of... I can see you writing your notepad. You're definitely writing down... I think you've written down the 2 smokes, right? I guess the cat boost smoke and the smoke that we saw. Oh, it's beautiful. A couple shots there from Dren. But yeah, I was going to make the point that if you condition the CTs to over commit towards long at the beginning of the rounds, then they have to rotate really quickly across the map. So you can go for delayed long take timings, which kind of that's a way to counter that play from them, because they're overly concerned with the rush timing. So you just let them do that, so you're not playing into their position of strength, and then you play into the position of weakness, which then appears later when they're either 1 or max 2 players towards that long position. And obviously this is a safe round here for HellRaisers, a few Deagles, but that's about it. And but I guess the point I'm making here really is that AVANGAR really have HellRaisers at this point wrapped around their little finger in terms of how they're conditioning them on this map. Nice shot from Issa though, 4 versus 4. 4 versus 3. It's made it a little bit easier thanks to the work of James.
Vanguard are so good to learn from on the T side. They always have interesting things to look at. Oh, we didn't do Go TV pick for this one. Who do you think, Dan?
I would have said Oscar. It's just because of, I mean, but I think Nuki for the T side of HellRaisers. I'm really curious what he'll deliver. So
what about the first half?
But as far as the first half is concerned, so far James has been pretty effective with the AWP. If that's what something that you're interested in. But otherwise, a Dren would be the pick for me. We already saw some great stuff from him. So
marvelous.
But there's a lot of players you can watch here, and you can't really go all too wrong.
Don't forget, guys, who are tuned in, make sure your Twitch account, if you're watching on Twitch, is connected to your Steam and so on, so you get those that pick'em thing where you have to watch a match. It records one of the matches. If you're not in Go TV, then make sure your accounts are connected and so on, so you're ticking all the boxes. 5-3 for AVANGAR. Again, beyond the pistol, really, HellRaisers have been struggling versus the T prowess of AVANGAR here on Dust 2. And AVANGAR, who are fully equipped. The same cannot be said for HellRaisers. They're short of a few grenades here and there, and very lacking in helmets, which isn't a big deal considering they're up against an AWP and 4 AK-47s. James takes a shot at 152, doesn't make a connection though. Oscar flash off his initial angle, smokes her up, and it's a fast take of the short position, or most of it. You don't really want this sniper moving forward from this area. It's the riflers who need to make that play, but James is confident enough to do it anyway. He's got a Molotov in case somebody's on the ridge of the short position. Ooh, was that a headshot? I think that was a headshot.
Dren, he knows his timings, his angles. He's lethal. Yeah, this is so methodical from AVANGAR. Really enjoying this so far. They've got catwalk control, so this looks like a normal default, more or less, in terms of getting capped by like anywhere between like 1 minute to the 120 mark is when defaults typically will be occupying catwalk. And at this point, you can harass the A sites. You can try to threaten the B split and drop a smoke on the the B split smoke, try to pull a CT down. And then if you were able to pull a CT down into CT spawn, your A push becomes a lot more successful. But this is a good setup for HellRaisers. Having Nuki on Goose will be strong. And look, here go the smokes again. The execute from AVANGAR will be strong, but can HellRaisers have a better go of things?
Lowell has a flash that he could throw for Angel, but he's got problems of his own because it's a 2-man push in that long position. One of them's gone back, and in the meantime, Nuki's taken out. It's pulled Angel out of position. But there's that flash I was talking about. He's going to have a look. They're lining up for him. He won't spot a Drendo, but that's a beautiful shot from him. I thought he was going to get traded. The bomb's been planted. Bastard's in trouble. And now it's just Kika at 1 versus 2 in that long position, trying to hold the area down. Oh, he's going to go for the rotation, but will he get there in time? They could go for a boost. neither of these players have a kit, so he's going to have time based on that fact. There might be one on the site. They're never going to check short. This is unbelievable.
Here he goes. They have no idea. Quick kill onto Oscar. It had to be fast. He goes deep for the headshot. Issa is down as well. Great stuff from Keycut. Goes for the big brain play, the big rotation all the way around. What a stunning result. And hits both shots. He commits deep with those peaks.
That
He's
was
not messing around.
That was awesome. It's not every day you're going to see a rotation like that round the world. Beautiful play. Again, lower with the flash support in this game has been really important. Angel got more than you expected, especially because he didn't initially spot Adren. But he gets a kill regardless, but that rotation was gangster. 2 AWPs now coming out for HellRaisers, Oscar and Issa on the second one.
This is so cool to watch just because I feel like, I can't say that, oh, HellRaisers are just like, they're missing the mark, they're not performing, this is like, anything like that. I feel like the focus is actually just on how well AVANGAR are playing. I think they're playing a really good Dust 2. They seem so very prepared just by some of the details we're seeing out of the utility, the timings, how, like, Adren has clearly been putting in a huge amount of individual work, or work on his individual game, I should say. And I have some points about that, maybe to make later when we're not in the buy round, about Adren specifically. But he's been playing well. Although, speak of the devil, and, well, he's dead. And now it's a 4 versus 5 for AVANGAR to work off of. So what do they have? This is a nasty off angle. Surely they will never expect Oscar to be here.
It's a two-man setup as well. Two-man setup from HellRaisers. Oscar eating a flashbang from his teammate, but he's got Angel right behind him, so trying to force things into their own hands. He's blind again, and they're both going to get taken out. So they're trying to make forward responses to these plays from AVANGAR, but there are so many flashbangs, and they get wiped out completely. And I don't know if there's much for HellRaisers to do at this point. 2 players on the B bomb side. They have control of long, but when you don't have short on the retake, you're coming in from CT. It's horrible. It is horrible.
It kind of felt like that flashbang from Angel that completely blinded Oscar, that could have been communicated a lot better, so that either Oscar looks away and then can peek with the flashbang, or at least just looks away so that so he doesn't get full blind. It's just something like that. It kind of looks a little bit clumsy. Nice boost there to check pit. Beautiful stuff. All the details coming in here from AVANGAR. And this is kind of the stuff that I was talking about earlier as well, that AVANGAR are a team, they've been around for a long time. Obviously, Adren is new into the lineup, but what a pickup they managed to get with Adren. But they're a team that's been together for a long time, and one of the things that was always very remarkable about AVANGAR is that they are their tactical play is often being pretty stunning, and their team play as well, it backs it up nicely with, very, very large amounts of individual skill. And, very quick point about Adren. As I said, one of the most experienced players in the game, great personality in the game, and representative ambassador to Counter-Strike, I would say. And has some great interviews. One where I think he read a book that detailed training. I think it was from Michael Phelps' coach or something similar to that. And he's talking about training methodologies and how he reached the peaks of his individual skill and the modes of practice that he applied to do that. And the amount of work that he put in. It's like he's a very serious player. And one of the things with the older players as well is that what happens is their skill doesn't go away, but their hunger kind of diminishes over time as you get more achievements, as you've done more and more things come into your life. The hunger diminishes. But Adren, he seems hungry as ever, and that is such an important factor.
7 rounds in a row for AVANGAR. 7 rounds in a row. Deserved rounds as well. 1 minute on the clock, and they take their time. Oscar creeping in the mid position. He knows he's got to do something. He could see a foot if he creeps around that smoke, but again, it does work both ways. Although he's got more distance from the smoke, especially with the elevation. So you've got to be real careful about what they choose to do here. A jump pass, you can see he's ready for it now. Eats a flashbang, takes a shot, no connection. Now they know what AWP is. That is the most dangerous weapon they have information on. They'll move away from it towards the B-bomb site.
They are actually rotating everyone through the tunnels here, and this is a bold play. It can work out really well as they put a lot of focus for the TTs towards middle, but they're getting decimated. They can't make their way through the smoke. 4 of them die without even seeing a single player. That is not a good sign. And the way that they designed this round was to put a lot of emphasis on plays around CT spawn, getting maybe a player to walk out of B, and so that there would only be one in the B bomb side at the timing that they rushed through. But HellRaisers had two ready and waiting. So that play fell flat, James. And as you said, though, they did pick up before that 7 rounds in a row. So overall, you know, everything's been going fairly well.
Yeah, but they gave HellRaisers an extra buy in that round. 4 rifles picked up by HellRaisers. So I understand they're trying to move away from the AWP, but maybe time worked against them there. Try to, well, force their hand through the smoke on the B bomb side. Never an ideal situation, especially when you're essentially on an anti-eco round. So not 4 rifles, 2 AKs collected at the very least. They had 2 rifles at the beginning of the round, but either way, it's a lot of bonus money for the squad. Now, can they get some momentum off that? Still a 3-round lead here for AVANGAR. We've got 2 players close to long looking to do something, and 2 waiting in lower tunnel. As you can see, Issa is here. That's not the pop flash I was talking about, but it is the same, effectively the same thing. Adren not expecting to play a lower tunnel. Cheeky frag for Issa, and Angel's top mid. HellRaisers taking the game out of the hands of AVANGAR now. Maybe we'll have a close score at half-time.
Absolutely. Still time for recovery, though. For AVANGAR, they can still try to fashion some sort of a comeback in this round, as we'll see Buster take over the mid position, which was once occupied by the CTs, making a walk forwards. There's 5 CTs left alive, so you'd imagine that they would have eyes everywhere. Oh, that is stunning there from Buster. Great reaction shot onto Oscar as he'll smoke away middle. 2 smokes in mid, and they are committed towards B now. What a beautiful opening. And now there's only one man that stands in their way. Issa, as Angel comes through, will take down Buster. And that is unfortunate, because now it's down to the players from the tunnel's position. They're taking things a bit too slowly here. They need to get a forward position. The trade onto Issa is not realized, as HellRaisers will close down the round. And they don't lose too much else for it. Just 1 player lost. A brilliant frag from Buster, but that's all that AVANGAR had when all is said and done in that round. And despite the 7 rounds in a row of AVANGAR and how good they looked, due to the opener and Oscar, you know, helping HellRaisers get those first 3 rounds, now HellRaisers are up to 5. So it's not looking bad at all. However, AVANGAR, they can still keep the dominance going here because we do get a tactical. So they are reflecting on past rounds, on the directions that they want to go in, what's worked, what's not worked. And so have a plan of attack, get everyone on the same page. And here you can see, as James, the way that James put it was, taking the game out of AVANGAR's hands with that mid-push. Very good to throw in maybe once a half on the CT side. You can't do it all the time. It's pretty exploitable. But another buy-in for AVANGAR. What have they got to show us?
Okay, just a dry peek from Oscar, and he'll be punished for it. So the swing of momentum can change pretty quickly and look like it was firmly in the hands of HellRaisers, but maybe it's not now. Kika got to be careful. Fearing a push in the meantime, Adren's going to make inroads towards a long position. Maybe feeling like HellRaisers had an investment towards short and long would be weak. Either way, they've got a numbers advantage, and it's made even better with Nuki getting taken out. Spotting an AWP towards the car. There's a beautiful jump throw Molotov, and Kika is ready for Issa moving out of position. Awesome stuff. AVANGAR looking strong, looking for revenge. They're angry as they make their way towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, this is really cool, actually, because, again, like, the tactical timeout came in. They got to discuss what approach they wanted to take. What haven't they done in a long time? They haven't gone for a fast, long play. And, you know, HellRaisers definitely a bit more chilled out because there's not been too much action towards that at the early timings in the round, as AVANGAR have been playing slow all the rounds before this. Angel with a nice headshot position. Look at that. Only gets to 1, though. And he was, of course, destined for failure, I should say, up against 5 players and a ticking bomb. But AVANGAR pick up another one. And the money, though, is still going to be good for HellRaisers to get a buy-in. But, again, it's all AVANGAR, isn't it? I wonder if we'll see another long take coming in from them. It looks like a few players looking towards B here. Maybe not. Now looking back towards A. Trying to read into which direction they're looking at the beginning. In freeze time. Not working out for me. So 3 players towards long, perhaps. Here for HellRaisers. Got to be careful here, James.
Ooh, double Molotovs. Want to make extra sure they don't make their way through long. Initial push has failed. 2 rounds remain in this first half. See the cross being made. James continues to have interest in those long doors, and why not? Oscar having a peek earlier on, losing momentum, but again, James does have a big focus. So I don't think we've seen that normal peek he goes for near the Xbox position, but he does seem to be heading in that direction. Slowly edging forward, checking angle after angle, and maybe he's going to set up for it.
I love how AVANGAR flash for each other. They're very methodical. Some of these flashes also I haven't seen before. This will be a somewhat standard one. For Oscar position, Molly, flash. And Oscar's been dealt with, as would any CT be dealt with who might be standing with him. Sometimes you have a rifler standing with the AWPer. As the AWPer drops off, the rifler can, you know, the AWPer serves as the bait for the rifler. But AVANGAR really, they are crossing every T, dotting every I. They are so methodical with how they move across the map. And here comes those smokes again. And in goes Sanji. 2 players on Goose. That's unusual. Maybe it works out for here for HellRaisers.
Oscar doesn't know where to go because of the Molotov. There's so many flashes as well. They're lining up for Sanji. Buster with the assist with the flashbang. Lowell's holding down a long position. AVANGAR threw a smoke into the B bomb site to offer some kind of light fake, but there were still 4 players waiting around the A bomb site from HellRaisers, but to no avail. The Molotovs forced them from their positions around that Goose area. AVANGAR just leave little room for HellRaisers to wriggle on the A bomb site.
It's amazing because HellRaisers are playing a setup where it's that classic oldest trick in the book, 2-man setup on the same position. You get Oscar to peek, and it probably, you know, gets a kill, dies, and then they don't look in that position. The rifler pops out when they try to plant the bomb, sprays down everyone. That's like how that's supposed to go. But again, I mean, this might be another round for you, James, to cover in a video, because if you watched AVANGAR from top mid all the way onto the bomb site, it's like every 10 feet. They had a flashbang, they had a Molotov, they had a smoke, you know, everything in the right place for every single position, every single setup, every single play that the CTs could possibly make would have been shut down by those grenades. I just loved how methodical that was, and that just really speaks to the quality here. Because look at this, we've got the perfect setup for the molly on the ramp, the perfect molly for the player on Goose. There's just nothing that HellRaisers could have done there.
Reminds me of Mousesports' T sides on the old Dust 2. Especially around a short area. They were very meticulous with the flashbangs and so on, and it was a great example to show people during matches. But AVANGAR's T side of Dust 2 has been quite enjoyable so far. Now we move into the last round of the first half. Everybody is here. Adren moving towards the car position. This time Sanji can't trade. Lowell holding his area down. He needs help though. He needs flashes. Here comes a flash. Will it come in time though? It will. 3rd kill for Lowell. Now there's a man advantage for HellRaisers, and it gets better as Angel moves in and just sweeps the last round for HellRaisers. 6-9 at half-time.
Big result there, 6 rounds in a game like this. AVANGAR look dominant. Will they continue that dominance? We're going to find out. Stay tuned. We'll see you after the break.
Second half is about to begin. The teams swap sides. HellRaisers will now be the aggressors. But with so much momentum and strength shown by AVANGAR in the first half, do they have it to make a mental comeback, let alone a physical one? HellRaisers. We haven't seen any P250s yet. On Dust 2, for me, they're a must. I suppose if you're going towards the B bomb site, not necessarily. Again, Lowell with a good hold here in the last round. You can see him looking away as the flashbang came in from his teammate, and Angel slid through the door to clean up. I've seen some nice multi-frags from Angel in this game. Okay, so 4 players of Kevlar, no P250s. That makes me sad, especially because they're not going for a straight B play. Again, the difference is a P250 will give you almost double the one-shot range to the head over a Glock when no one has a helmet. So it can make a hell of a difference on a T-side pistol. But we don't have one of those here for HellRaisers.